Alrighty. We're gonna give a bit. Wow. Hmm. Alrighty. Alrighty. How's everybody doing? Uh, actually, I don't think anybody's here yet. Oh, Lord. I know I don't have the best interesting title for the stream, but I am planning on reading some, a visual novel. So, I guess it works. So right now, I just want to chill. I want to eat. Um, and just relax before I start reading the visual novel. Okay. Well, how's everybody doing? Hopefully, everybody's day has been going well. Whether it's just starting or just ending. Da, 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 da. Wait, what's this? Oh, apparently this is actually, I can actually change this over to, my headphones and let it be in the stream, but I'm not gonna risk it. I don't want copyright. Alrighty. But, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, my mic is on. Yeah. So, we will be continuing, the visual novel. If I'll switch over to my library, let's see if I can say the name of it. uh, Narcissu, first and second. I started this a while back. I did not continue it for a minute because of pretty much a lot of shit going on. It is not a good idea to try to read a depressing visual novel when yourself is a bit depressed. I am feeling a lot better, even though right now I got something in the mail that kind of pissed me off, but I'll get over that. Because I gotta realize some situations are just out of my control. So I cannot let them bother me and cause issues for me. Because constantly getting pissed off over the same situation is not good for my chest. And it is not good for, well, pressure buildup in my eye. Oh, and also I'm also eating, so I don't want to try to read while eating. Oh, uh, because I know that if I try to read while eating, I'll not eat at all. And then I'll have some people messaging me when they find out that I have not ate. Da, 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 da. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Mm, um, hello, Lawless. Hopefully you're doing well. I am doing pretty good at the moment. Um, have me some food before I start reading the visual novel Narcissu. I probably messed that up so badly. um, but also just trying to relax and chill since I've honestly just gotten home, so I don't give my time to relax before I stream because if I don't, then it will be no stream. So I'd rather just talk to you guys and relax that way. Select complete. Yep. Let's see here. When I get off, I normally have an hour drive home, but I had to go to the bank, which is the opposite direction of where I had to drive, and then grab some stuff. So yeah, I ended up getting home a little later than usual. But me relax, that's actually a rare thing. The only time you see me relax is if I get high to the point I'm not tired or get a good buzz on me. But either way, where I am not tired at all. And then when I get really relaxed, it is literally I would have to put 18 plus because there's no telling what I'll be saying. Because my filter just goes away. But honestly, I am really relaxed to begin with. So yeah, the only time I am relaxed is if I'm comfortable enough to get relaxed, or I'm high or buzzed. Even though I've actually been talking more, so I am getting more comfortable streaming and talking. But we'll see how long that lasts. Oh, thank you for the head pats. Head pats are always welcome. Oh, I may have a new emote soon. Hopefully. I'm going to save this playlist. So, what have you done today, Lawless? Hey, nothing wrong with sleeping. Sleep is good sometimes. Every time, well, honestly, sleep is good all the time. Considering I did sleep a lot in the school. I slept more than I do now. But hopefully you got enough sleep. What the fuck? Da, da. Um. Okay, so there is a meme I've been seeing, and I need to figure out where it fucking originated from, and because one I do not get yet. I slept a lot because I stayed awake until 3, I think. Um, and mom watching. Wait, what? I think and mom watching you. Or and Morn. Oh. Wait, you stayed up till 3, and Morn watching me. Wait, what? What time is it for you? Okay, I gotta see what this boy kisser meme is because I've been seeing it so many places now. Um. hmm. Oh, damn. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Why you up? So, I do not mind the viewing. I like the views. but, but you should get sleep. You sound like one of my friends. Okay, so that's what that meme is from. I don't remember saying that. That's probably why I never caught on to that meme. Odd. A meme I did not catch on to. Moots. Wait, what? I got chicken tendies. Chicken tendies are good. Wait, what? Oh, close that out. No, close that message out. Who else wants chicken tendies? Alrighty. Set that right there. I think it's time to get started reading. And for this, I will need no music because the game has its own music. Oh, what's this? Transgression the Reaper. I will go ahead and open that and I'll listen to that later. I get distracted way too easily. Alrighty, we're gonna see how many words I mess up on. Alright. So let's go ahead and launch this. Hey, where's my cursor? Hey, give me my cursor. Hey. What tab? Oh shit. No. Well, fuck me. It seems like trying to do too much at once has made my computer want to freak out. Hold on. Task manager. Alright, so I want this one. And task. There we go, I got my mouse back. Oh, Lord. Okay. Nara. So yeah, forewarning to anybody who is prone to depression or stuff like that. This visual novel does deal with death and depression and suicide. Or suicidal thoughts. I'd rather go ahead and give that forewarning, so everybody knows. And it's also one of the reasons why I did not read it while I was going through stuff. Okay, there it is. We're going to load. Okay, pink manicure. There it goes. Hold on, that's loud. I do the warnings for pretty much for anybody to know. Just try to be a little bit have a little bit of common decency, even though I have very little sometimes. Excuse me. But I know some people do need the warnings. Alright, there we go. That's a lot better. Alright. Looks like even though she gave up on riding the train, she didn't intend on going straight back to the hospital. Helplessly, I obeyed and followed after. As always, because of her pajamas, people would glance over. But it seemed that Himiko-san herself didn't mind one bit. And then her feet stopped in front of one storefront. Ah, these clothes, they're nice, aren't they? She touched a number of clothes decorating the front of the shop. But they were all frilly kinds of things, however you looked. They were meant for cute girls. They didn't really seem to fit Himiko-san all that much. You like this? You like these kinds? As if I don't have such girly interests. As I registered what she said, she had spread the clothing in her hands before me. Yeah, it suits you, Setsumi. Eh? Me? Well, you're always in sailor uniform, you see. But I thought that maybe this sort of thing would also suit you. Hey, should I buy these for you? This one piece? But you don't have to be polite. It's a present for Ani-san. Or from Ani-san. Not for, from, goddamn. From Ani-san. I don't want it. Would have been a lie. So yeah, I will mess up when reading, FYI. Grease smudge on my glasses. Shit. For someone who only had one sailor uniform, it was a very tempting opposition. And Himiko-san's clothes, I don't need them. This is my uniform after all. With that, she pointed at her own pajamas. Then, I'm fine too. Give me a second, let me clean my glasses. I'm trying to read now without glasses on and I cannot see unless I squint. That's better. Alright. Oh, it's not like you have to... Oh, it's not like you have to go along with me. See, you can still choose. While I want to reply, I swallowed my words. It was said in her usual bright tone, but the words can still choose. At that, I realized the very heavy meaning in her words. No, I'm fine. What a pity. And I thought it definitely suits you. Well, if you change your mind, just say, I'll buy it for you at any time. After that, I wandered around in front of the station a while, ate ice cream together, and then head back to the hospital. As we found similar clothes in other shops, she continued to say she'd buy them for me, but in the end I kept refusing. Damn. The daytime had been so hot and hazy, and now in the huge sky the face of the moon peeked out. As usual, after eating dinner, I returned to my room and relaxed. By the window, washed and drying on hanger, was a sailor uniform. While gazing at it, I suddenly thought about the time I had gone to school. Right now, my health was good, so one could forget, but in reality, I was someone who was admitted in and out of hospitals. Already over 2 years have passed since I've been away from the place called school. in that time, I hadn't once thought about wanting clothes other than pajamas. There hadn't been any pressure such a need either. But today, just a bit, my heart swayed. Excuse me. Perhaps it could have been better had I admitted I wanted the clothes. Did I switch this over to... Yeah, I did. Sorry, I'm getting myself distracted again. But Himiko-san herself was stubbornly in pajamas, and being the only one to get new clothing made me feel bad. Besides that, no matter where Himiko-san was in her pajamas, she was dignified. Compared to that, I always felt somehow sorry. Like I'm somehow doing something embarrassing. I can't help it. Or maybe mother who has stopped getting manicures and reddened her hands, or father who continued the long commutes in the same suit. If they saw me happily wearing cute clothing, perhaps to both of them it would be a happy thing. But that, for me, I think would have been difficult. More than saying I hate fries, it felt that difficult. Alright, so for those who do not know, let's see here. Himiko, from the beginning, is actually from the beginning, the chapters 1 through 3, I do believe. She is on a floor of the hospital that, pretty much when you're gonna be dying soon, they send you to that floor. And she sneaked out of the hospital for a bit to spend time with, the person, I cannot think of how to say the name without seeing it. But with the character that we're, reading about now. And she has been in and out of hospital since school. Her parents started working more jobs and whatnot. And she hates fries because that's all her mother brings for supper. But since she eats the fries, her mother thinks that she likes them. And in response, she brings more. But she does not want to tell her that she doesn't like them because she doesn't want her mom to feel bad. Alright, Catholic. Come on now, select it. Cicada noises. And then a few days after, before I noticed, it was already entering mid-August. Nothing had particularly changed, and as always, I was headed to Himiko-san's place. Ah, Setsumi-san. Hearing a voice I recognized, I turned around and the girl I had met before was there. Excuse me. Ah, you were Himiko-san's... Yes, I'm her younger sister, Chihiro. As always, she spoke in a calm, well-mannered, gentle way. And like Himiko-san, if she, Chihiro-san, were to be a helper or a Catholic, one wouldn't be surprised. Today, unlike the usual apron form seen at the hospital, she was in a white, cute one-piece dress that I thought was somehow her. Are you perhaps going there from here? Is Cheers and also? No, I have a place to go to first, so... that's right. If it's alright, Satsumi-san, would you come along with me? I didn't know what was going on, but I continued walking behind Chihiro-san. Under the blazing sky, the two of us walked side by side along the street. Unlike Himiko-san, Chihiro-san spoke rarely, but somehow she was a person who, oh wow, she was a person with an air about her, where just from being with her, one could feel at ease. And then, a little before the hospital, she turned left at an intersection where I normally didn't go. And at some point, as the area turned into a quiet residential neighborhood. Look, it's there on the bend. The rolling sounds of bells. What appeared before me was a large church. From long ago, I knew there had been a church nearby, but this was the first time I had ever come to it. And by the way, the white building next to it is my house. Saying that, what she pointed out was a pretty house that gave off a serene feeling. The tall ivy-covered fence gave off a western atmosphere. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Don't mean burping in y'all's ears. It was probably obvious, but this being Chihiro-san's house meant that it was also Himiko-san's house. Okay, I may just leave off the saying and whatnot. God damn. Let me grab some Tums real quick. God. Seems like a heartburn's real. Or actually, yeah, it's not really heartburn. But still. Tums help with it. And then, following her urges, I stepped into a church. Or her urgings. Or, what did I say? Anyway, don't get distracted. The first church I'd enter. Streaming from windows, dazzling bright light and vividly colored stained glass. It was the first time I'd visited here, and I felt it was very beautiful, peaceful. Was that the word? The polar... Good! Why I'm trying to get better. Rain should not make me yawn so damn much. The polar opposite of glaring, godless... The polar opposite of glaring gaudiness might have felt like this. I think that's the word, gaudiness. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. I've honestly never seen that word, so yeah, I'm gonna go with gaudiness. If there's a different way, is there a way I'm supposed to say it? Let me know. But there's no one around, is there? Yes, because no one comes at this time. Excuse me. With just that answer, Chihiro approached what looked like the altar. Then from her pocket she took out what resembled Buddhist prayer beads and quietly brought her hands together. This was that thing called prayer. On TV, I'd seen that the fingers were folded together, but this was like praying at the temple on New York, Can I not fucking read today? God damn. But this was like praying at the temple on New Year's. with just the hands brought together. And the thing she took out of her pocket, at first I had thought they were Buddhist beads, but looking carefully, it was a rosary. God damn. To me, everything was so fresh and new. This was, of course, the first time I'd seen any of this. So, would you pray with me too? Me? It's alright? Yes. It's not like offering a prayer requires some special rite. But what should I pray for? That's for each person, their freedom. Once again, bringing her hands together, Chihiro quietly closed her eyes. Imitating her, I put my hands together in the same way. In the soundless place, closing my eyes, it felt everything dissolved to nothingness. However, I felt it wasn't a fear-instilling dark or emptiness, but a clear white that spread everywhere. But what in the world should I pray for, I wonder? Chihiro said that I was free to choose, but for me, what I should be praying for was a different thing. Next to myself, I could hear the small whispers of Chihiro, whose voice, so small I couldn't make out the words, but I felt sure she was praying for Himiko. By that so very seriously praying figure, I felt my reasoning wasn't that far off. Phew. Once again, my eyes opened after some time. Well, just 30 seconds worth. When I looked next to me, Chihiro also seemed to be finishing up her praying. Say, Chihiro, is a Catholic person right? Yes, that's right. Well, Catholic person is a bit of a strange way of saying it. Yeah, that honestly is a bit strange to say it like that. Then your Himiko is different? Ani-chan says she's a fake Catholic and denies it, but as far as I know, she is a very devoted Christian. In her usual kind way of speaking, she answered. From the Himiko that I knew, I couldn't imagine it, but none other than a younger sister, Chihiro, said so it must be as she said. Well, shall we leave? Chihiro walked towards the entrance that we had come from. When I walked after in the same way, suddenly her feet stopped and she turned around. Ah, that's right. Sesame, face this way. When I wonder what she was going to do, she once again placed her hands together. May the bountiful blessings and grace of the Lord be upon you, for my sake. Of course, I'm not a priest, so it's just a sentiment. After that, we left the church, and in front of the hospital, we parted. For me, it had been a new experience. Churches, Catholics, I don't really know much about them. All I knew was that I had reconfirmed that Chihiro was a very kind and good person. And also the Himiko that acted so coldly to her was apparently a devoted Catholic like her. Slightly late, I came to the usual place, but for some reason I couldn't find Himiko in the hospital room or even the lounge. I wonder where she went. If you're looking for Himiko, she's in the courtyard. As I peered around, a nurse passing by spoke to me. It's hot, so tell her not to overdo things. Okay. When I looked, Himiko was in the middle of watering the flowers. Morning, Sesame. It's hot today, too, isn't it? As she spoke, she held a hose single-handedly and was spraying the flowers with vigor. However, her outfit was the usual pajamas and slippers, and then maybe to defend against sunstroke, on her head she wore a straw hat. That image was oddly comical and yet mysteriously seemed just like Himiko. To that Himiko, I pointed to the place we planted bulbs the other day. Have shoots come out already? It's impossible for it to happen that soon. Then she showed me a carefree smile. She had been called a devout Catholic, but for her to have an air like Chihiro had praying in the church, at least to me, was unimaginable. The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad. The desert shall rejoice and blossom. Eh? Like the crocus? I think that's how you say it, crocus. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice with joy and singing. Know it? There are words from the book of Isaiah. I shook my head. I didn't really know. But it was probably from some kind of scripture. Just now, as I was having that thought, Himiko's sudden words surprised me. Excuse me. And then, while I was thinking about that, phew, it's hot today, isn't it? From somewhere came a nurse. Someone I hadn't seen before. It seemed like someone from a floor I didn't know. Thank you very much, Himiko. While I was at it, I watered the other flowers too. So which is better? I was thinking of taking some. For which floor? The third floor's X-ray waiting room. Then a potted plant would be fine, right? As she spoke, she scooped out a number of yellow and white pansies and moved them to a plastic bag. Thank you very much. I'll be going then. Taking the plastic bag into her hand, the nurse disappeared into the building once more. On leaving, her hands made a cross. Maybe the nurse was also a Catholic. And I didn't really understand it, but it seemed that this flower bed Himiko could plant and pick as she pleased. I believed not because she was a resident of the 7th floor, but because in this hospital she seemed to be officially recognized. The nurse just now, isn't our acquaintance? Yes, there's lots of other acquaintances too. Excuse me. God damn. Being a former helper, I had heard about. But did this come about just from that alone? Thinking about how this was a Christian hospital, and then how she had been a devout Catholic earlier, I had a feeling there was a link. What? What's with that mystified face? Eh? It's not like I've been given any sort of power. I'm a former helper, now a resident of the 7th floor. Excuse me. It's just my career had been a bit long, so my face is known, that's all. And she added that while she was my age, she had come in and out of here often. God damn. From those words, having a long career didn't simply mean being a helper. Now that she mentioned it, she had once said that Catholics were involved in various public welfare activities. Looking at it like that, probably it was just as Chihiro said, Himiko might be a devoted Christian. What's wrong? Was there still something you wanted to ask? Why doesn't Himiko pray or anything? Pray? Me? Well, you're a devout Christian, right? Let's see. If you don't like fake Catholic. Former Christian would work too. That would mean that in the past it was true, but now it wasn't. Then you don't pray anymore? Nope. Firmly denied. And while I'm at it, let me say, if there is a prayer, then there's also a curse, don't you think? Excuse me. I didn't really get it, but suddenly asked such a question, Being suddenly asked such a question, I couldn't gather my thoughts. And there was a problem that I didn't know the difference between prayers and curses. And besides that, I've been thinking about going tomorrow. Remember? We couldn't that time before. Did she mean the thing about the pineapple tree? In the end, we went to just before the station that day, but gave up and came back. She had said we'd go again at a later date, but how are we going? Excuse me. It's fine, leave it to Ani-san. Anyways, since we're going out, don't forget to pack lunch. As the sun was slowly setting, once again today, the two of us sat around the dinner table. Tomorrow? Lunch for two? Is it okay? Because tomorrow I was going out with Himiko-san, I tried asking for a lunch for two. Actually. However, even though my health had been good lately, if my other said no, I would plan on giving up on the idea. I guess not. Oh, of course I can. Your mom will put extra effort into them for you. Instead of worrying about me, Mother simply gave her okay. In fact, she seemed even happier than usual. So, your friend Himiko, are there things she doesn't like? Broccoli. Got it, then I'll make sure not to put any in. Oh yes. Next time, if it's fine with her, get her to come home to play. Falling back onto the bed, I let out a big sigh. I'm sure that Mother thinks that Himiko was a normal hospital patient or a nurse. At the least, she wasn't thinking that was someone from the 7th floor. Excuse me. Excuse me. The fries were like those, the fries were like this. Himiko was also like this. The happier Mother got, my heart hurts. Was this what they call the sense of guilt? Alrighty, we're on to 10. Pineapple tree. Oh yeah, I cannot use space on that one. At a slightly earlier time than usual, I head to the hospital. The lunches and the tote bag in my hand. The lunches and the tote bag in my hand numbered 2. Since it was hot, Mother also prepared a frozen water bottle for me. I wasn't sure how far we were going, but I was pretty sure she spoke about going all the way to the ocean before. Ah, Sesame. Chihira? To be honest, I was looking for you. And from her pocket, she took something out and offered it to me. This, could you give it to Aunt Neishan for me? A key? Well, I accepted with a shiny silver key. Is this for a car? Yes. If you tell her it's parked in the rear parking lot, I think she'd understand. So could you do that for me, please? With those final words, once again, Chihiro rushed off somewhere. It couldn't be. I didn't think she was planning on going by car, but... Or maybe there was someone else to drive? As I wondered about it, I went to him around. I was told... Picking into the lounge and seeing that she wasn't there, I headed to the hospital room. Good morning, you're early today. That's what I was told to do. And this, I was told to hand this over. I answered, I showed her the key and what I was given earlier. Thanks, so shall we go? As if it was perfectly natural, Himiko took the key. Was she really planning on going by car? We came to the parking lot, since it was just... God damn. I don't like bourbon this much. Since it was just the time in the morning when outpatients came in, the area near the entrance was packed with cars. And then walking a while in the parking lot as we came to the furthest part. There it is, it's been a while. She stopped in front of one car, a red color open top. However, that car, as far as I could see, was made for 2. At that point, the theory that there was some other driver vanished. So, it's a good car, isn't it? Never mind that, is it okay to drive? Legally? Sure. Hey, if it's legally okay, that's all that matters. That wasn't what I meant though. It's dangerous. If we crash, yeah. It'll be fine. I know already, okay? Excuse me. Even like this, I'm telling you I know about my own body more than anyone else. Even if you say that, I don't know how much trust I can put in it. Look, even I wouldn't drive if I thought it'd really be dangerous. Really? Yes. The roads aren't just me driving by myself after all. And after saying that, Himiko quickly got into the car. So, what are you going to do? There's a seat empty on one side here. Alright already. Raising a light engine noise, the red open top started running. Moving from the usual familiar streets past the neighborhood supermarket I occasionally went to. Passing 3 intersections in moments, we suddenly went onto a large road. But I wondered just where in the world was she planning on going. Before she said that it was about 2 hours by train, so I think it'd be quite a distance, but as I thought that, I sat next to her and stared at the view. Sorry, did I jolt you? A bit. Hey, bear with me a bit, okay? It's been a long time since I've driven, so just until I get my sense back. Before it came to that, I thought her driving felt rough. In reality, she probably wasn't going that fast. But maybe because there was no roof, even the slightest swerve was extremely scary. Yeah. Say a bit slower. Did you say something? Nothing. I decided to quietly grip the seatbelt tightly. My hair was going to be a disaster from the wind, but I'll live with that. Already the sight of me desperately gripping the seatbelt with both hands might have been a bit ridiculous looking. Huh? Setsumi, what are you doing? Don't worry about me. Around when and if you looked around, the scenery was changing from being in the sea to a beautiful green, and Himiko had finally regained her driving sense. Or maybe I was the one who had gotten used to that driving. In either case, it got to the point where we could calmly talk. So, open tops aren't bad, are they? The wind feels good. Yeah. Got it. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. I had to restart my audio engine because it decided to go out. Okay, there we go. Yeah. This feeling of being one with nature is great, right? Certainly, I didn't think so in the city, but here in the middle of this natural place, it felt very liberating and nice. And even as we spoke about this, cars driving in the next lane were constantly passing us. At first, I thought Himiko's driving was scary, but it seemed that she really was driving safely. This is what sort of car? Oh, you're interested in cars? Not particularly. It's not that, but there wasn't any deep meaning behind the question, just for no real reason I wanted to know. You know, a roadster. Is it an amazing car? Nothing to be surprised about. Just that I like it, and it doesn't have air conditioning or a navigation system. An old car. And then Himiko taught me... Fuck. I accidentally hit the spacebar too fast. Okay. How it was the first generation in a model, what the power weight ratio was. She continued talking as best as she could about technical things. Hey, an A86 just passed us. Let's see here. Often known as a Toyota Corolla. For those who haven't been exposed to the initial D's. Oh my god. I'll be honest, I have not watched Initial D. I need to watch it. The music from it is amazing. But yeah, I've not seen that. I need to actually watch it. Give me a second. Let me look at something. Get it. Let me look at something real quick. I gotta send a message. Wait, what? That does not look like a lurk. One with shoulders and one without. Please have a look, let me know. I'll be honest, I cannot tell a difference in them. Let me see if I can get them. Sorry, I am a bit distracted right now. A person who's doing a animated emote, or I think it's gonna be animated. I'm gonna have to verify. God damn it. Messaged me. Oh, I see. I guess without? Oh, with. There we go. Alright. Okay, I'm back. Man, what is that? There it is. Well, isn't it a great view? I think just means yes. Excuse me. A shoreline that continued endlessly. Summer sunlight that sparkled and reflected off the emerald waves. Far away, swaying pine groves. Distant voices of seagulls. And then, what could be seen along the side of the roads were... God damn. Sorry, people. Were many phoenix palms. Himko said they were something like pineapple trees. And as she had mentioned before, each and every one of them was big. This is our destination? Yeah, in a few moments, there's a spot I've been to a few times before where there's a place we can stop. Okay, we're here. Along the road, running parallel to the sea, was a shoulder that seemed to be for emergency stopping. There was space for 2 or 3 cars to stop, but since there was no traffic, it wasn't likely that another car would come. Stopping the car in that area, we got out of the car. Hey, what canned juice do you want? Lemon tea. Roger, or just wait a bit. Here you go. Mixed with the crashing of the waves, the quick sound of pulled tabs rang out. And then Himiko facing the sea with her hand on her hip. Ah, delicious. As if coming out of the bath and drinking a milk, she gulped down the orange juice in one go. And for no real reason, I also put my hand on my hip and tried gulping down the lemon tea in one go. Then we walked towards the sea spread out before our eyes. This is a beautiful place, isn't it? Yes, it's a spot I kinda like, I suppose. You come here often before? Not really, but once in a while. Well, originally I came across it by chance anyway. By chance? Well, you see, that car is not no navigation system. Or got no navigation system, right? So the first time I just drove around and got here. As she answered, Himiko's face was just a little different from usual. It was somehow lonely, somehow nostalgic. A completely kind of face. A complicated kind. God, I despise my reading skills sometimes. They are horrible. But nevertheless, I will prevail. Alright, instead of that, we had a goal, right? Just as what she said registered, she began rummaging through the trunk of the car. Then, taking out a small saw-like object, she started walking toward a large phoenix farm by the roadside. Did she really mean to cut one? Say, what's that? Oh, you don't know about hacksaws? They're really made for cutting metal, but they can cut well. I didn't mean that. What do you plan on doing? Obviously cutting, just a little 5 centimeter worth. As she spoke, she placed the hacksaw against the phoenix farm. I had a feeling it was better to stop, but just how serious Himiko herself was, I didn't know. Or maybe if... Or maybe if it's just 5 centimeters, it didn't matter so much. As I worried about these things alone. Yeah, I think I'll stop. Saying that, she once again returned the hacksaw to the trunk of the car. Phew, she decided to give up. Or had she not been serious from the start? There's still eyes around. When it's a bit darker out. Can't have any witnesses. You'll have to sew them up. It's not like she gave up at all. Burning sunlight, moist sea breeze, the scent of the ocean. Once in a while, the number of seagulls came close. On that kind of beach, the two of us started a late lunch. Your mother is good at cooking, isn't she? Because for a day, she tried extra hard. I see. What a good mother. Speaking about these things, we ate our lunch. Sitting upon the sheet Himiko prepared, it was a lunch party where the two of us put on straw hats to keep off the sun. Almost like pigeons in a park. When we gave the seagulls crumbs or crumbled croquettes. Fuck that word. Oh lord. So when I first saw that word, I could not pronounce that word shit. Because I had never seen it. I knew the word. Because I had said the word before. But since I had never seen it written out, I kept on fumbling around. And one of the people viewing had to actually put... So croquette is actually a biscuit, if I remember correctly. But one of my viewers had to put, how to spell it. Let's see here. A croquette is a deep-fried roll consisting of a thick binder combined with a filling, which is then breaded. um, let's see here. Let's see here. Let me switch over so you can see what a croquette is. So these are croquettes. And I don't know how they are. I've never had one. Well, here's the funny thing. Croquette and crochet and oh lord, croquette and another word. Or croquette, no, that's croquettes. So there's croquettes and there's croquette. Croquette is actually a game where you hit a ball underneath some pins, while croquettes, which is just a extra TES at the end of it, is food. Come on, pop back up. There it goes. Looking at those silly figures, the two of us left. But yeah, I had fucked up so much trying to read that word. And then I'm like, wait, isn't croquette a game? And then it's like, no, that's croquette. Funny how words are. This feeling, how long has it been, I wonder? I can't help but think about that. God damn, I got myself laughing now. God damn. Ooh. Okay. I think I got laughed out of me. Okay. This feeling, how long has it been, I wonder? I can't help but think about that. Looks like she still thinks you like them. The words came as she looked at the fries that were always there. At those words, I couldn't help but fall silent. She had said it wasn't kindness. In other words, it probably meant that if I don't like them, then there was kindness in saying so. Even I understood that. I understood, but reddening her hands, doing it for me. In front of such a happy mother, to say that sort of thing, knowing just how sad it would make her. That much even I knew. Excuse me. Pat pat. Eh? When I looked, Himiko was gently patting me on the back, as if calming a crying child. She continued to pat my back. Well, there's no helping it. It's not as easy as just saying it after all. Himiko. Yeah, it'd be nice if someday you can come out and say it, right? You know, it's a really hard thing, but in reality, saying a bunch of selfish things might be just right, you know? Saying that, she gave me a smile. With her usual cheery face, she gently encouraged me. I think there's 20 or so chapters to this. Actually, I should get me some more drink before I start reading because I'm about out. So, give me a second. I guess y'all get to listen to waves. Or is it gonna stop? Anyways, I'll be right back. Alrighty. God damn, why is it so damn chilly in my room? Calm down. Okay. Oh, god damn. I'm back. Hopefully I did not keep you all waiting too long. Okay. Fix my mic. So, there we go. Alrighty. Oh. Thank you. I got me some more drink. I think I need to fix my VTuber model. Yep, it's constantly looking to the right now. There we go. This program sometimes does not like me looking around. Alright. The sea breeze stopped, and the long summer day began drawing to a close. Around when the waves, the sky, and everything that could be seen was stained orange. Well, it's getting to be a good enough time, I guess. As she spoke, Kimiko once again went to get the hacksaw. For an already sparsely traveled place, she probably had been waiting for this even more opportune time. In the middle of that, a single car came down the road in front of us. For some reason, it was headed straight for where we were. Looks like a car's coming. That's odd. Someone stopping at a place like this? What stopped before our eyes was an unknown some compact car. Beyond the lace curtains, what could be seen in the car were lots of stuffed toys and numerous accessories. That was without a doubt the car of someone with girlish interests. Strange car. Indeed. In this day and age, key cars were frilly interiors just don't exist anymore. Excuse me. In front of the car that stopped before us, we both gave our impressions. And then the owner of the strange car slowly opened the door. Hey, you're looking well. Yuka. What a coincidence meeting you in such a place. Yes, an unbelievable coincidence. It seemed to be someone Himiko knew. Who was this? A short, cute-looking person who looked good in the frilly clothing she wore? Himiko herself said that she knew many people at the hospital, but the person before my eyes didn't seem like that sort of person. By the way, what's with that tacky car? Quiet, you. It's better than your junker. And hey, even though it looks like this, it's a new car. And geez, don't make a paper driver or drive long distances. And you should think about your age. Your age. What was this feeling? It seemed like an argument, and also didn't seem to amount to a conversation, and yet somehow it just didn't feel like that at all. But, well, how should I say? Yuka. Thanks. What? What are you saying all of a sudden? This and that. It must have been you who maintained the Eunice for me, right? I know nothing about that. Probably just a coincidence. Well then, I'll also leave it at that for you. The very happily conversing Himiko. Out of all the times that I've seen Himiko up to now, this expression was the first. And the person she spoke to, by her words, was always angry. but it didn't feel like that at all. Well, I'll be going. With just that little conversation, the woman quickly got back into her own car. As if she might not have known just why she had even come. But in truth, she didn't want to talk more. She probably wanted to spend much more time together. For some reason, I felt that way, and couldn't help but turn to Himiko and open my mouth. Say, is it okay to part like this? There wasn't any particular reply. She just continued to gaze at that person. In truth, she didn't she want to talk more? I hesitated, and even uttering those words, somehow I sensed that I shouldn't intrude. And in the car that I thought was just going to leave, they briefly closed driver's side window open one more time. Hey, Himiko. Yes, I know. Just exchanging those words, both of them fell silent. Both Himiko and the unknown woman, who made a face near tears. In the world where everything that could be seen was stained orange. Only the crashing of the waves and the cries of the seagulls sounded. And then, as the driver window closed, see you then. With those last words, she once again returned to the road. Silly as always. Just because I said not to come to the 7th floor, to come all the way to such a place, that person just now was, indeed, a bit not true to herself, but really a very kind person who let perfect attendance slip by. Perfect attendance. Yes, and my #1 best friend. Himiko slowly murmured. Her eyes were gentle, but somewhere lonely. Ew. And thanks to that, the remaining 3 has become 2. It wasn't the pineapple tree? Well, that's 1 too, but it's different from that. Just one more time, I wanted to meet again with my best friend, you see. And then the orange-colored scenery slowly changed to blue. Already the seabirds and the cicadas' cries have disappeared, and the only sound of the waves hung on the beach. Within that, the 2 of us were still at the place. Phew. Yes, it really was a pineapple tree. Pity, what a pity. Her words said that, but it certainly didn't sound like that. Instead, Himiko sounded as if she were having fun. First, that is it's not even a 1 centimeter cut. It's fine. Anymore, and you'd feel sorry for the tree, right? Then from the start, you didn't have to cut it. No way. Nothing should be judged without trying. And then, with lightly skipping steps, she began walking towards the water's edge. Look, since we've come all the way to the sea, let's play before we go back. Hey, what? Cold? Hey, Setsumi. You come too. It's cold and feels good. Should be. At the water's edge, barefoot, and raising the hem of her pajamas, Himiko seemed to be having fun. Could it be that in reality, testing the pineapple tree didn't matter at all? For me, I couldn't imagine the reason. But it might have been that she wanted an excuse, whatever it was, to go outside and separate from my inner thoughts. Himiko was enjoying herself. At the water's edge. It was just, even though I didn't understand plenty, there was one thing that I understood. That figure of Himiko right now before my very eyes. Without doubt, a few months later, this person will disappear. The sunny smile, the gentle patting on my back, the warmth in that hand will disappear. Only that was unmistakable. Hey, what are you doing? Sing the mood over there. Splash. If you don't come, I'm really going to splash. Alright already. Having been prodded, I also took off my shoes and head to the water's edge barefoot. Well, it feels good, doesn't it? It's cold and feels good. I wash my feet in the waves. The feel of the sand, the cold evening water, both felt good. How many years was it since I've been in the sea like this, I wonder? When will be the next time I can come to the sea like this, I wonder? Now, we've gotten revved up, and from the convenience store bag in her hand, Himiko took out something. Just when I wondered what it was. Ta-da! And here, alcohol makes it disappear. Can I have alcohol? Come, you hold a glass too. But me and alcohol. Don't worry. We just discovered the truth behind pineapples after all. And besides, this is an 8-year-old wine. With overflowing gusto, she half forcibly poured me a glass. The clear red wine seemed overlaid with the beautiful color of the moonlight blue. The two of us waded in the sea to our ankles and took up our glasses. By the way, says to me, you're how old now? 15. Well then, to an 8-year-old wine and the 15-year-old. And to my life too. The moon floating in the cloudy summer sky illuminated the dark beach. The 10 things to do before dying. 3 weeks ago, I was told to go along with the remaining 3. And now, the pineapple tree and best friend were cleared, leaving what appeared to be one more. For me, I didn't know what that was, but the day for... Sorry. Rain, for some reason, makes me yawn a lot. The day for doing that last one might not be too far off. And also some music, too. And after some time passed, Himiko was still happily walking along the water's edge. Suddenly her feet stopped and turned this way. Hey, Sesame. Just if I go into the sea like this, do you think I can die comfortably? Over there, the expression that had been on her face just before had disappeared. Hey, at that time, would you stop me? If you really want to die, you would have drove into the sea long ago. Always the cool one, aren't you? As she spoke, she splashed her way back. And you, Shosha? No, there isn't any particular meaning to this. Okay. And then while driving her wet feet with drying her wet feet with a towel, she sat down next to me. And now we're revving up again, right? In contrast to her words, she spoke calmly and turned to face the one who had fallen silent. Me. It's okay. You've got them, right? Plenty of things you want to ask? Giving a small nod, I slowly opened my mouth. From long before, there had been many things I wanted to ask Himiko. When you heard you were going to die, did you cry? A little bit. Then, were you bare asking why only me? That's a hard question. Well, let me ask you. When you say bitter, bare at whom? I didn't know. That was my reaction to the unexpected question. Indeed, if God exists, then I might be bitter. Even though you're a former Catholic, you don't believe in the existence of God? No, I believe, even as a former Catholic. Probably God exists. But you see, it looks like he's very busy, that God. Or maybe he just doesn't care, perhaps. She continued to speak softly, as if talking to herself. That face, illuminated by the moonlight, felt somehow lonely and philosophical. Hey, Setsumi. Do you know a dog of Flanders? A dog of Flanders? Yes, it's a pretty famous story, so you probably know it. More or less. At the sudden words, I answered with the slightest of nods. When I was young, I think I watched an anime broadcast of it. I believe it was a story about a child who had lost his family, Nello, and his dog, Petrush? I have no clue how to say that. Petrush and Alice. Who do you want to be? Or who don't you want to be? The one who ultimately died, Nalo and and a dog. I'm not going to try to say that. Then the two best friends. Elos. I didn't want to die. But even saying that, I didn't want to be the one left behind. I don't want to be any of them. Excuse me. Well, that's an impossible arrangement. Why? People have only these three choices. As Himiko answered, her face was different as from usual. The expression that she occasionally showed, that very strict expression, was there. Alrighty. Oh, I'm getting a text message. Let's see here. One. We have open 2 i5s and 2 cases. When you get in tomorrow, let me know what else I need to order. Alright, sorry. My boss texted me. We got some expensive builds. Well, not really expensive builds, but they're for business, so getting game plan going because of me going on vacation, he's ordering stuff, and then they have to be done before the end of the month. So everything, it's gonna be a tight schedule of getting stuff done. But that's what I'm best with, is when the schedule gets tight and down to the hours. That's when I usually do the best work. Alright, Nello and Aloe. Let me check my Twitter real quick also, see if I got a message. Nope. Okay. Alrighty. Hopefully you are enjoying my horrible singing. Or my horrible reading. Wow. I'm not. June. A white overcast sky spread out today. This time's assignment is different from usual. Thank you, Lawless. I mean, I'll be honest, reading a visual novel on stream, I thought I would never do because of my speech impairment. And even my my reading skills are horrible. Even though I usually read words pretty well. Anything that, since I read words as they're written, I mess up a lot. But that's how I've always read. But my speech impairment does not help. But I am trying to make improvements. Man, I had to get over irrational things. I have my speech impairment control me talking and reading. But thank you. Thank all of y'all who come and stay as I read. Thank you for the head pats. In front of the hospital, my head was full of anticipation about a person I haven't seen yet. In the middle of the long hallway, I saw the doctor and spoke to him. So, are you really fine with it? Yes. Please allow me to. Even if you say that. At my wishes, the doctor showed reluctance. For me, still being a university student, isn't the burden too heavy? That was probably the unspoken meaning behind it. The patient is, well, you know, right? Of course. That was exactly why I asked for the assignment. When the doctor still continued looking doubtful, I pressed harder. The source of this was my volunteering to be the helper of a new patient to the hospice. I made sure to bring a letter of recommendation from the church. As I spoke, I handed a single sealed envelope over. Here, the domain of extraordinary acts was not decided by only the hospital itself. The wishes of the church often also held influence. Alright, I'll inform the director. Thank you very much. Give me a deep bow. Oh, I left the place. A helper application for a 7th floor assignment. That in itself wasn't a particularly strange occurrence. Moreover, up until now, I had served 3 hospice patients already. Considering my age, that was a rare amount. Hold on, I think I got a sneeze. Nope, false alarm, no sneeze. Okay. Considering my age, that was a rare amount of helper experience. It could be said that I was a VTuberEN. As to why it was rare, in normal hospitals, no matter how much a person volunteered, it would have been difficult for a university volunteer to be stationed at a hospice. No matter how short-handed the place called the hospice was, afforded that consideration. But this is a Christian hospital, and moreover, even compared to our places, it was more strongly a religiously oriented place than medical services oriented. Excuse me. And I am a Catholic. Someone who, before her earliest memories, received the words of baptism, who actively engaged in public welfare activities. These were probably all of the reasons. But this time's assignment is different from usual. The patient was a child. And not just a child, one without guardians and bedridden. So, I'll be honest, I would probably be able to, if I had to volunteer with hospice, I would probably never be able to do one that dealt with any children. Even being the files, and with being the fire service and whatnot, I've always said that the one thing I can probably not handle is if there was anything dealing with a child. I cannot do that one. Out of anything. I mean, seen, and I've been on fire scenes where I've seen burnt bodies and whatnot, but anything dealing with a child, I won't be able to do. I have no clue what that is. Essentially, a child with no relatives, no parents. Of course, that didn't mean the child had no parents at birth. While cruel, leaving a bedridden child, advancing just like that. There were many of those kinds of parents. I didn't want to accept it, but that was also reality. And such a child with no place to go, no relatives. The first to take the child in would be a Catholic hospital like ours. Perhaps it could be said that it was the last resort. In that merciful stance, it was that aspect of oh Lord have mercy. Catholicism itself that was my reason for being faithful. That's why I was not a devoted follower. It didn't matter if it was baptism or Protestant. I probably wouldn't have cared. Though I had been baptized before I had memories, it was just a coincidence that I was born and raised in a house next to a church. But even if it was a coincidence, I didn't have the resolve to want to swear a lifelong service. I was simply a follower, just of that merciful spirit. Different from the usual 7th floor, today it was to the 5th floor. Head to greet the Nilo I still hadn't seen. The word Nilo was a term between us helpers and nurses. Residents of the 7th floor, child without relatives, bringing those together. Most likely it had probably been a name taken from a dog of Flanders. It was a pretty disrespectful naming, but even now, I didn't know the truth behind it. When I came, it felt already long established. It's just that there was probably no malice behind that name. The reason was whenever it was known that a Nilo was coming, the number of doctors, nurses, and helpers who sought the assignment was great. That sort of situation was probably because this was a hospital honoring Christ's teachings, which aimed at a self-sacrificing attitude. And then among those, the helpers assigned to Nilo were called, with both respect and jest, Alice. In reality, Petrash would have been closer. I'm not good with these names. However, we were unable to die with them. That was why they were called the closest best friend. And I was one of those who desired the role of Alice. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Raising her body up in the bed, a girl looked this way. Above her knees, perhaps because it was just past noon, was an already eaten lunch tray. Her voluminous hair left an impression. Ah, well, good girl. You finished it all. Well, really, I don't like broccoli. And Ani-san is... I didn't introduce myself yet, did I? I'm the helper that just got assigned to you. As I answered, I opened up the certificate and showed her. A child of this age, it might have been pointless, but showing the person now was a set thing here. So treat me well from now on. And me too. She responded with those words, but she looked this way with a puzzled expression. But what's a helper? Yeah? That was unexpected. It had and likely that there were lots of things she didn't understand. But I hadn't thought it was to this extent. It's different from God. Sorry about that. It's different from doctors and nurses. I wonder how should I answer that question. Someone who took care of them? Normally that probably would have been fine. But from here on out, what faced this girl was the 7th floor. And I was her helper, the Alois for Nilo. Normally, unless one were notified, one couldn't be admitted into the 7th floor. Meaning, they've been informed that they had already run out. Oh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you yawn. Reading just makes me yawn, and I think it's also the music that's getting to me too. Meaning they've been informed that they had already run out of treatments. To be direct about it, the pronouncement that they would die. After they received that explanation, and the hospital receives their agreement, they are finally allowed in. And that was exactly why in many general hospitals, hospice were not offered to children. However, Nilo's were different. This place was different. Moreover, if both parents had been Catholics, then even more so. What's wrong, Ani-san? Sorry. While thinking over the question why the helper, I had fallen silent. Well, it's something like a friend. Ani-san is mine? Yep. So say whatever you want without holding back, okay? Quickly, I began cleaning up the tray that the girl had already finished eating. Sorry. It's fine, it's fine. We're friends, so don't be so reserved. I continued speaking to the girl who was still acting reserved. And besides that, I'm happy. Why? You see, from long ago, I wanted a friend from another age group. I also wanted a big sister. Oh, then it's decided. As I spoke, I held out my hand. So treat me well here on out, okay? Me too. The burning sunlight and the sound of the cicadas. The hand I touched for the first time was warm. A summer day which would soon transfer to the 10th floor. And so we became friends. Nilo and Alois became friends. A few days after, as usual, I head to the girl. Hot. And the early cicadas began to call in earnest. Today, again, looked like it would be a hot day again. Good morning. Good morning. The same as yesterday, she lightly raised her body on the bed and exchanged greetings. Just a little bit, she seemed to be lowering her guard, but still somewhere, the girl was reserved. Did the morning temperature check finish already? Yes, it was 36.5 degrees Celsius. I see. Then there's nothing to worry about, right? As I answered, I cleaned up the breakfast tray. With that, until the afternoon, I'd run out of things that I had to do. From the start, there wasn't much for helpers to do. Medical matters were the work of the doctors and nurses. At the most, Goddamn. At the most, it was on the level of taking temperatures and giving support to their daily lives. However, another way to say it would be that there was no upper limit to supporting their daily lives. And it was exactly for that reason that it wasn't the doctors or nurses, but the assigned helpers, who was given the name Alois. Alright. Well then, shall we go to the cafeteria? But I just finished eating. Ice cream, ice cream. Is this hot after all? But come on, go next. She made a complicated face and looked down. She must be thinking of something besides politeness. Don't worry, Ice, Hannah's by. And so, as if I were giving her back a push, we head to the cafeteria. Since it was still morning, there was a scattering of people within that. We sat next to each other at a table. So, tell me whatever you'd like. Okay, but like I said, don't be so reserved. As I spoke, I turned to the cafeteria menu. Then vanilla. Okay, vanilla, got it. And what should I have? Wait, there's only one type of ice cream, isn't there? Looks like it. With this, there's no room for choices, is there? Well, I'll go buy them quick. Hello, pup. And pup, you know that you're the bottom. Okay. Leaving the girl seated, I head to the counter. Looking around, children of a similar age as the girl were eating, together with their mother or father. Of course, a child of that age eating alone in a hospital cafeteria would be more strange. But the girl's parents were already gone. Of course the girl didn't know. Wasn't allowed to know. Here, sorry for the wait. What? Lots of ice cream. Yeah, the size was smaller than I expected, so I thought just one would be rather lonely. And so the rule is one person gets two, okay? Oh? Is it that you don't like ice cream? It's not that. If Mom sees me, she might be angry. Because she's always said I couldn't have ice cream. Saying that, she looked down sadly. It's alright, because Einstein is with you. Really? Yes, and the doctors and nurses won't get mad either. Okay. And this time, she happily extended her hand towards the spoon. It was probably a given, but since coming here, she likely had eaten any. However, someone of this child's age, there was no way they could hate ice cream or chocolate. While pondering that, I watched the girl eating, and after just a few spoonfuls, once again her hand stopped. What's wrong? Yeah, Mom. Lately she hadn't been coming to visit. Before she came and visit me every day. I see. Beyond that, I couldn't say anymore. There was no need for this child to know. At least in my case, it didn't seem like I would be able to tell her. Your parents are long gone. You all alone. From here on, we'll go to the 7th floor. There was just no way I could say that. And sadly, I learned that it was a very common thing. Leaving behind only the patient, the family disappearing. There were probably various reasons, financially, psychologically. I thought it was a very heartless and cruel act, but I couldn't rise to unilaterally blame the parents. Leaving behind a child on a sickbed and disappearing. No parents would do so willingly. Beyond the cliche words of being worn out from giving care, their agonies and burdens must have been great. I just felt this world was sad. And once again, I learned that it was another part of reality. What's wrong, Einstein? Nothing. And instead of that, here, if you like, I can give you my share. But it's fine, don't hold back. Moving the girl's already finished dishes aside, I replaced them with my own dishes of ice cream. Is it good? Eh, this ice cream is good, isn't it? Saying that, she showed me a smile. The usual reserved girl smiled for the first time. For me, for a hospital cafeteria cheap vanilla, the first time she looked at me with a happy face. A few days after, the burning sunlight and the sound of cicadas, today I head to the girl's place. The other day, she had been transferred to the 7th floor, but nothing in particular seemed to have changed. So the greatest worry now was the question about her parent. I had no confidence in how I would answer that. Good morning. It's a hot day, isn't it? I exchanged greetings with a nurse friend. How is it? Already used to here yet? Yeah, originally on the 5th floor, it was a single room too, after all. The here that she spoke about was the 7th floor, and used to was of course not speaking about me. Could it be that you were together all night? Well, I'm used to sleeping on the spare beds. Really? When there's no guardians around, it's difficult in many ways, isn't it? At the words, I gave a vague nod. And by the way, what she was hinting at with how there were no guardians around, what she hinted at was that it wasn't that they had vanished without a trace, but that they no longer were in this world. The cause of death was something the head nurse didn't tell me. I was only told that it wasn't an accident or sickness. The remaining possible causes of death were but one, and that was why no more was asked by either of us. Even in this modern age, for us Catholics, it was a great sin and a forbidden act. Well, if there's anything, just say, okay? Yeah, thank you. Good morning, how you feeling? Today seems good. As always, the girl raised her upper body in bed and looked over. And I sat down on the folded chair next to the bed. Then, just like that, we spent most of the whole day together. From the window, the bright sunlight shone on her profile. Once in a while, we would talk about little things. That was our usual appearance. Today, the flowers are really pretty too, aren't they? Decorating the windowsill were a number of small flower vases. In them shone bright white and yellow. You know, a nurse decorated for me. I see. Isn't that wonderful? As I answered, I added one to the vase of yellow gerberas, while the girl happily watches my actions. From a glance, it was the scene of a common everyday hospital room. However, the truth was different. In reality, visitors' flowers for the girl didn't exist. Since there are no relatives, there is no one to bring them. But at this hospital, especially for 7th floor, someone always sent flowers. There was the nurses and us helpers. Everyone on the floor shared in it. And when there wasn't enough, some were selected from the flower bed. That was also another part of the job. Even for the people who had absolutely no visitors, it was a situation where we made it so that there were always flowers. Do you like a Deborah is? Alright. Yes, but I like the white ones more. As she spoke, she pointed to the other races at the white lilies. Generally, as visiting flowers, their scent was too strong. This vase wasn't one that we prepared. Okay. I'm actually going to end this here for now. Save. We'll save it on 3. Alright. Alright. Let me switch over to chatting. Chat. Alright. So. One thing with me and reading is I actually, get in the mindset of the story, and my brain just plays the scenes as I read. So yeah, I sometimes have to just take a break. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I will try to finish that up eventually, and I think that's still just the first one too. I've not gotten to the second one yet. But tomorrow I'll probably be playing a different game. Um, I know I've not been streaming in morning times, but I've been trying to get ahead of work, to be honest. But when I'm back from vacation, I should be back to streaming mornings. Um, Probably not exactly at 5 a.m., but it will be in the morning. But anyways, thank y'all for showing up. And Lawless, you need to get some sleep. If you're still in the stream, you need to get yourself some sleep. Um. Okay, you are still there. Anyways, y'all have a